Hage has chosen to return to University of Michigan for another NCAA season instead of signing with the Canadiens.
So why sit him on the bench when the guy could be rocking like a superstar?
Oh, he's going to be playing top 6 minutes.
There's a big risk, when you're just jumping into the NHL. You get bounced around, man.
Why does he want to come?
Hage has chosen to return to University of Michigan for another NCAA season instead of signing with the Canadiens or joining the AHL in Quebec, in Laval, sorry. You think it's the right choice? You think he's missing out on an opportunity?
Like, as soon as it was announced, everybody started speculating, was there a problem with Laval, with Montreal? But I love the choice, and after looking into it, I think he did the right move. Before I give my reasons why, what do you guys think? Do you guys think he did a good choice, or you?
Well, what's he doing in the NCAA? What are his stats? He has 13 goals, 39. Because we're going to compare the levels. So you got the AHL and goals. The NHL.
He basically wants to go back another year. Just a quick overlook. He wants to win because they got eliminated in the Frozen Four. So next year is going to be the main guy.
Exactly. But that's my point, is that when you're talking NCAA and then the AHL and NHL, it's completely different tiers. So at the NCAA level, he's playing as a top guy. He's going to be being a top guy. There's no way he's a top guy in the AHL or the NHL next year.
My question is, though, a lot of fans and the public were upset because it was known the Habs wanted him to sign either with Montreal or with Laval. And at the end of the day, he decided to go back to Michigan. He wasn't going to play. He wasn't going to play for Montreal in the playoffs because he was hurt, obviously.
I don't know his reason. I know he decided and the Habs were behind it. I don't know exactly his reason for wanting to stay in the NCAA, but I think he's 21?
Oh. Yeah, the juniors were... he was there, the juniors, right?
Yeah.
So what? He's going to get a little...
So this is my perspective on the situation. He's how old, bro?
20.
20. Montreal wanted him to sign, but this was discussed with him a while back, but nobody knew his decision until recently when he made his decision the night before. Mm-hmm. So it was either Montreal wanted him either on the club and give him an entry-level contract in ACL, right? He plays in Laval. Now, he was, from the situation, because he was hurt, you can clearly tell he was hurt because he didn't play well in the Final Four. Supposedly he was like 70-75% healthy. So he was, even if he would have signed to Montreal's, I guess, option was to just keep him around the team, stay with the players, the trainers, train with the team, travel with the team, get comfortable. But he wasn't going to play in the playoffs, especially if he was hurt. They were not going to put him in. And eventually, I think next year, Montreal's option was to start him in Laval,
right,
and then see if he would have been brought up, right?
Yeah.
So I think if his option was he knew he was going to be put in Laval. Why play in Laval when you can play in the NCAA? Yeah. You're going to be Laval. You're making between $60,000 and $80,000 a year, right? You're playing less games in the NCAA. You can also work. You can finish your schooling. You can work a lot more time in the gym because if you're not, he might be ready skill-wise, but physically, he's still got a lot to do in order to be bulked up. So he's going to have a lot more time to work on his physique in the gym and be NHL ready. You understand?
Right.
So that's an upside. And there's this clause where he can make a bonus in the NCAA, some signing bonus. I don't know what it is exactly. I haven't really looked into it, but he can make a big substantial amount of a big payday. So I think that had to do with it. But for development, if he was going to start off in Laval, even if he would have gotten called up, there was no place for him right now on the Habs.
Yeah, exactly.
So if he had to develop, stay in the NCAA, you get to be the guy. You get to play top minutes. Because in Laval, you're going to get to play top minutes, but not as much as in the NCAA.
No.
You might play the power play, but you might not play the penalty kill.
NCAA is getting top lines. He's doing everything.
He's going to get all top lines. He's going to get all the situations possible. He's going to probably be captain next year. So it's good for his development. I have no problems him playing there.
I agree, Tony.
And Montreal has shown with the other players that decided to play in the NCAA. Look, what Hudson played there and he came to... It's a good development. It's turning into a good development league. So I personally don't have a problem with it. Because he's projected to be our top, hopefully a top 6 player, maybe top 9. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't going to start off as center right away. So, and if right now Montreal doesn't have the place for him, maybe in 2 years down the line, let him develop in where he's more comfortable. Don't push him.
I totally agree, Tony. Don't bring him in. He's not developed yet. You said it before. He needs to gain size to be NHL ready.
Montreal would have brought him in, but it was his choice, right? So I think he made a good choice.
Yeah,
it was a smart move. It was a mature move on his part. What do you think, Steve?
I think there's a big risk, when you're just jumping into the NHL. You get bounced around, man, and mentally, are you ready for this? Type of thing. Will you be able to handle this type of physicality and I think that as much as I want him here, I definitely would love to have Hage here. But deep down, what? This is such a responsible thing, even from the Montreal Canadiens to let him have the choice as well. It's such a mature way of dealing with this. And agree, thing that we've pushed when we've rushed so many players in the past. It's amazing to hear that you give them the chance to make their own decision, and on top grow in this in the Michigan way, and take it from there. Let's say,
I don't think it's about rushing him.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that if he would have, I don't think it would have been a bad thing, but I think to maximize his play and get experience in all different types of situations, he would have got more opportunity in Laval and in college than in Montreal. Montreal would have signed him here. Their plan was to keep developing him in Laval. So I guess at the end of the day, his choice was, okay, if I know I'm going to be in Laval, let me pick Michigan and get another year under my belt and be even more ready next year in the spring when I'm ready to go to the big club, right?
Yeah.
I think that extra year is going to make a big difference. And there's going to be more space than this year where Montreal has other players that are taking up positions, taking up spots. Look at the lineup now.
Yeah.
What they're doing, now that they're healthy.
Struggling.
That's what I think. No, Bri?
Yeah, I agree with everything you say. I think my reasoning is, I think he's having, my personal thing, I think he's having fun in college. So another fun year in college. He's probably like a celebrity there. He's probably going to all the great parties and stuff. So I read he has his brother coming up. So he wants to play with his brother.
That's a good point, actually.
So I think there's some personal reasons as well as thinking professionally. But I think he's, for sure, it's a great opportunity to, not be as stressed, trying to carve his way into the NHL. He can work out, he could bulk up, get bigger, get some more leadership experience. Like you said, he might even be the captain next year. That's what they're saying.
Probably, I think so. And I just want to be clear. I think the most important thing is that we're debunking the fact that there's an issue. Just because he chose Michigan doesn't mean that automatically he doesn't want to come and play for Montreal. Like Montreal chose him.
Eric Lindros situation.
Everybody jumped to conclusion. Like, why does he want to come? Montreal wants to come. His father was from here. He speaks the language too. He was hoping to get drafted by Montreal because it was his parents' dream. He got drafted by Montreal. There's no issue there.
The dream come
I think he made a smart business decision based on his career, and I think it was the right move. Even if he would have chose Laval I don't think he would have been. He definitely, if he would have signed an entry level contract, he was not starting with the Canadiens. He's hurt, so that's out of the question. So let's debunk that. There's no issue there.
Also, I also read it does affect the LSC if you stay another year. If you don't sign, you postpone another year from signing, and actually you get more money when you sign the LSC. I mean, that's the reason too.
Not necessarily, because Montreal is gonna burn the first year of his entry level when they sign him. So
next year,
so he's gonna lose a year anyways. So he gets quicker. He gets quicker to his first NHL contract, right? So I'm not worried about that.
Right, yeah, you're right. Doesn't probably change, but you lose a year on the ELC. Oh, you do actually lose a year on the ELC, but it fast tracks you to free agency.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Benoit
Anything else?
has some comments, Brian. Maybe we should.
Oh, Benoit. What's up, Benoit? Michigan needed him for their hockey program, politics. Maybe they don't want to lose a star, maybe. Porter Martone with Flyers and the Hagens in Boston, both in playoffs, but no Hage.
Oh, different teams have different approaches on these players. But
it goes to development. First of all, he's hurt, and second of all, I think is it Porter Martone. This guy they're built differently. He's still sometimes you could be a better skilled player than someone else, but your game is there, but physically you're not there. Another player, he's just built better for the NHL, even though his game is not there, and he's NHL ready because he's got the size, he's got the physique. You know, everyone's different. Like
it is different.
Well, he scored a goal against the Habs, no? Porter
Martin.
There's no exact formula that everyone can follow. It's
we can't see in a year or two from now. It's like Higgins. I'm happy that he's with Boston, but we don't know if a year is it going to be. Was it too rushed? Then we've heard stories with the Canadiens, other teams where they rush players, they bring them in, they're underdeveloped, their size is not ready, their speed is not ready, they're just not ready to play the game. Yeah, good example. And now look, like you see how the guy evolved. Like he evolved slowly over the years, and now he's a completely different player. Still not the best player because he didn't progress the way he should have. But he's not the player that he used to be with the Canadiens. And you're like, maybe if they would have just developed the player a bit differently from the start, keep him an extra year, not keep him in the AHL. I think in this case, in Hage, keep him at the NCAA. Like I think you were saying, he looks like a superstar. He feels like a superstar. Let him get that confidence. You were saying, let him build the size. Now we're talking about physicality. Not only is he building physicality, he's going to be playing power play minutes a lot more in the NCAA versus the AHL. Forget about the NHL, but the AHL and the NCAA, two different games for Hage. He's going to be playing two complete. He's going to be playing top 6 in the AHL. Maybe not even. So why sit him on the bench when the guy could be rocking like a superstar?
No, he's going to be playing top 6 minutes in the NHL and AHL for sure. It's just that you're in a professional league now, right? You're playing the pros, the semi-pros. Like he'll play top 6 minutes. He'll probably play the first or second unit of the power play. But maybe that's it, you know. But he'll get 25, 26 minutes a game versus a lot more ice time than he would in the AHL. The only thing I don't agree with is I don't think it's politics. I don't think it has to do with him being forced by Michigan. This was all his decision, him, his family, and his agent. Because if that was the case, then Montreal would have forced his hand. Montreal said, these are your options. This is what we would like you to do. At the end of the day, it's your decision, and we're happy with whatever decision. Montreal's all worried because as much as they want him in his in their backyard to keep an eye on him and to make sure he's developing right, they don't have place for him right now.
No.
So I think it's a good idea.